Welcome to the Highlands in Victoria, British Columbia. This is a very beautiful morning. Market on Sunday from 10 to 1 at the Cobb some kind of Cobb park. I just passed by it, didn't see the sign. Today I like to introduce you to the Highland roller coaster. Yeah, the reason why it's called the Highland roller coaster, because as you can see, the road is winding, going upside down. I mean, going up and down, and it's very exciting. And you are driving on these roads, or roads like these. It's very important to be alert, because the road is winding, going up and down, and it's curves, and there is a big traffic, especially now in the morning. See a lot of people. You see a lot of people going to work. Besides, the road is just getting repaired. Here and there, it has some patches which needs to be done. Which will need to be done. Like no patches yet. Have some holes. Needs to be patched. As usual, I am having some nice morning drinks. I'm having Zevia. This is what it looks like. Let me show it to you. Oh, Zevia! This one is a creamy root beer, which I am very excited about because it's really pleasant food. Zevia is a root which is sweet, perfect drink, natural drink, without colors and without any preservatives. The perfect drink for the roller coaster. Luckily, this narrow road has some bays on the side of the road, so you can always stop by and let the traffic pass by, since everybody is rushing to work. Must be a whole lot of Russians somewhere rushing, making these people rushing too. I'm just kidding. going up. It's a little bit chilly in the morning, so I have to blow some hot air on my feet. Since my feet is cold, my fingertips are a little bit chilly too, but my heart is warm. Hungarians, they have a saying, they say cold hands, warm hearts. I'm not sure about that. But it's not a bad saying. It's a good excuse when you got cold hands and you reach out to someone and they're like, cold hands. You say, don't worry, you got warm heart. But you don't need cold hands to have warm hearts. That might be an obvious thing. You can have warm hands and warm hearts. At least at least one warm heart per individuals. The roller coaster has a limit, speed limit. That's 30 kilometers an hour. Besides those who are biking, or not even the bikers, will able to do that. Very few people can do 30 kilometers an hour. Not because it's too fast. Not because it's too fast. Okay, now we are at 50 kilometers an hour. Gonna have a little bit more fun with this leverage over here. Look at this, it's like a serpentine. Fifty kilometers an hour here is very high speed. So when you go actually with 50 kilometers an hour here, you really need to pay attention. I don't think we are at 50 now, we are at around 40. And even like this, I would have trouble to stop if something would jump on the road. Last night there was a big deer, a female deer, a deer, it's a female buck-looking deer without the horns, the antlers, and it was wandering on the side of the road, on the left side. It wasn't here, it was at the other side of the Highlands on Bieszczyn Road, yeah. And all of a sudden, as I was getting closer to the animal with the car, the animal started to come to the right, towards the car, towards the headlights. I'm like, oh Jesus, that's not a good news. And then I have to step on the brake because the animal kept on coming towards the headlights. towards the car from the left to the right, crossing the road, and walk in front of the car, walk by about a meter away from the car. So it's very important to be safe. You see speeding limits of all different types. They are indicators that okay, that's the maximum required speed for someone to stay safe. And then if someone is not capable of doing that, that's obviously not the human spirit, because human spirit would never ever jeopardize the human biological system or the human psyche. That's why we want to avoid all the holes on the road, and we don't want to go off the road. We want to go around the holes safely. Sometimes maybe we need to cross the line safely. Make sure nobody's behind you trying to go next to you, or nobody's in front of you. You don't want to block the other traffic, but you want to avoid the holes. You don't want to get off the road. Luckily last night I was able to slow down actually. I didn't have to stop, but I had to slow down, let the animal pass through. Now, what kind of living being would go front of the car or front of something what is moving, obviously because the headlights are on? I have to mention that my pH balance was high because I was just coming from the recreation center, and I was completely clean. I had a very nice clean meal. My blood was clean, so I had well energized cellular structure, very well energized cellular structure. So I had very high level of biological radiation, natural human spirit radiation shining through, which is a good thing. That's normal for humans. But as much I was able to enjoy the roller coaster on the way home last night, as much actually just before I was about to get home, about a kilometer away, just as much that animal, that naturally alien nature carrier, intergalactic and world war victim, something through the victim, with the victim, attacked my human spirit. Now these alien nature attacks happen through anything. They happen naturally through the alien nature carriers. That means all animals, all hybrids, as well as all mutants, all zombies, naturally, because there is a pollution in them, energetic, then physical as well as psychological, which wants the human spirit, the human soul, nothing else, like nothing else in the entire universe. The human planet did and doing, as well as trying to do, as well as will do, it's very best with human nature to give you pleasant experiences. So when your pH balance gets lowered because it gets disturbed, especially if it goes above 7.365, or if it goes above anywhere even above 7.4, that's as high the animals could reach, or the rest of the zombies and alien nature carriers could get. It's 7.4.4 or 4.5 maximum. Now, as soon as you, with your natural human ability, which would allow you to get to 8 at least in any moments, in any point of time, then you could also increase your pH balances higher than sustaining, like to 9. Potential hydrogen sustaining ability could go up to 10, 11, 12, or even to infinite amount of, or infinite degrees or levels of spiritual qualities. Because that's what your soul does, that's what your soul has. An infinite, divine, holy, sacred, not secret, sacred state of how about, or being. As you can see, now you know why this is the roller coaster. If you can make this ride comfortable, that's a good way to put it, then you could easily increase electricity in your blood. As long as this is a pleasantful ride for you, you will always get spirited, which is completely natural for humans to be spirited. That's when we are living. That's how we are living. That's how we are when your love is getting expressed, your energy. Remember, I always remind myself that the energy of life is love. Heaven's net, like this physical area here with this road, it is also part of Heaven's net, which needs to be protected by being appreciated, being cherished. Being enjoyed. As you can see, why it's very important to actually drive safely. There are lots of little bays to avoid the disturbances and the energy vampirings, because when other vehicles get close to you and they have their radios on, or they have sick people in, or sick beings, which is very common, and they have their headlights on, which is not actually a mandate, not actually a must anymore in Canada. Since the early 2000s, Canada does not require, by road safety, road safety does not require the headlights to be on when everything is nice and visual. Everything is nicely visual. You can clearly see. But they are projecting photons and electrons, and even without them, your vehicle actually carries vibration frequencies which are going through you to beat the frequencies of your radio devices. Remember, you are a radio too, with your heart as well as with your brain. You are electromagnetic. So if you are clean, you have clean blood, clean cells, and you are happy, you are feeling good, you are feeling well, you are spirited, you are energized, you are capable of resonating with your own soul qualities. You will radiate biological radiation. You will shine. Remember that. That's a really good deal. When you are alive, there's no better deal in this life than to be alive. Now, even now we all know the importance of being alive, since everyone wants to be alive, especially when it comes to humans. We naturally meant to be alive. That's when we are at home, when we are at ease, at peace, which should not be preached, bothered, or troubled. Ever. Never, ever, ever. When that happens, that's a huge crime created by aliens. That's why humans never actually have a reason to hurt other humans or anything what is actually human natured. When harms or violent harms arrived or arriving or could arrive or will arrive. Let's enjoy this roller coaster. There's another vehicle coming by behind me, too close to my car, so I have to break the speeding limit a little bit just to get away and just to be able to pull over. Right on the mountaintop. That's a good bay over here. I want to go to the left side because I want to stay away as much as possible from the radios with other vehicles, inside of other vehicles, with other vehicles. These days, the new vehicles, they all have radiations. If you have a smart start, your smart start is also wireless and radioactive, which is not legal in this case, because it has meant to be only monitoring your breath, not spying on you. Stalking is not legal, and war spying is not legal. Especially not on innocent, good human beings like myself, with other billions of other humans. Okay, now the road is clear. So one reason I want to go to the left, or you want to go to the left, is because you want to stay away from the radiations which are in every new cars nowadays. Like in the past 5-10 years, since the past 5-10 years ago at least. And most of the more expensive cars are having radios since long time ago. Okay, and besides you have the cell phones, which are also radios. Remember, we are also radios. All radios could be hacked, which we don't want, but the aliens cannot help it. When they trouble us, then they actually take human energy, and that's all they want. There is no exception in that case. Now I have to make a big turn. Again, the roller coaster shows its nature in everything over here. When it comes to roads, when it comes to turns, when it comes to avoiding troubles, you need to be aware the conditions what you have around you to make sure you can make it safely, because you want to have a pleasant journey, a pleasant travel, not a pleasant trouble, a pleasant travel. Okay, we are not perverts, so we don't believe in pleasant troubles. As you can see, I saw a little bunny just cross the road. I had an accident like that before, so which almost took my life. Luckily, I walked out of the vehicle. After the vehicle was completely damaged, I got an animal going across the road, and you don't want to hit the brake at that point when it happens suddenly, and you don't want to turn your wheels. You want to stay on the road, keep your speed. Maybe what you could do is to take your feet off the pedal, the gas pedal, but you don't want to hit the brake. You don't want to turn your wheels. Just want to go straight ahead, because unfortunately the natural area nature carriers cannot help to trouble the human spirit, including when it comes to truth. And where is truth, there is trust. There is trust, there is love, there is real human care. Otherwise, there is none. There is none. White lies are also mean troubles. Of course, when you say white lies to troubled beings and they're living with it, you have to protect your life. It's necessary to protect your life. You do have the right for self-defense. Then you have to do what you need to do, so you will stay human. Right after having the need to use alienation. As you can see now, we arrived over here. Let me introduce you to this beautiful area, which is one of my most beloved areas on the entire planet. This place begins with one of my favorite label or something like it. The label was the favorite word of Spock from the Enterprise, or it is actually, unless if he has a new favorite word. It's called, some people call Spock Spark. Spock became Spark after that Vulcan has been neutralized, has been naturalized, has been humanized. Spock has become Spark. Otherwise, of course, Vulcans or Kryptonians and all the rest of the aliens are aliens. Unfortunately, they do not have human abilities until they actually will able to sustain it in their DNA, which is a humanoid DNA, but not exactly a human DNA yet with human abilities. So Spark's favorite word label was, or is, maybe will be, I don't know, I need to ask him about it, is prosperity. Everybody remembers prosperity, come on. Spark or Spock was really passionate about prosperity because it's in his DNA to do the best for him. After meeting humans, Spark, especially Spark, with the human abilities, was able to be there for humans 100%. Also had or has, probably will have more human offsprings, children. There's a beautiful deer. As I mentioned, we are all looking for prosperity. So they also came to the Prosper Lake. Oh, there's a little deer too. Okay, small deer, little deer. Little deer. Almost like a plant-eating eater dog by the look. And there is a big deer. Yeah, chlorophyll will work, that's for sure. See, they know what they're doing. That's what I call training. That's what I call real treatment on the human planet. Yeah, trying to alkalize these. Apparently, chlorophyll will help them to get rid of that alien membrane acidification over the animal cells, so you will actually be able to transform back to humans again. Okay, here we go. They understand everything actually after all these years, thousands of years. You do understand everything, but when it comes to comprehend, then react to humans. That's another story. Again, the cellular structures are blocked with an extra membrane over it that was actually transformed the animals to animals. That was actually trying to transform the mutants or the hybrids to animals too. Of course, there are hybrids and mutants and zombies and whatnot who are about to turn back to humans, but they are not there yet. Of course, all of these alienations and evolutions and devolutions around us is very, very troubling. Everybody is aware of it. Every human is suffering from it. But what Spark was referring to is prosperity. Prosperity is something what we are entitled to. Of course, on the human planet, humans are entitled to prosperity before anything else. So therefore, every others will also be able to be prosperous, truly be prosperous on the human planet easier, faster, better, stronger, all that kind of good stuff. Pros- Prospect Lake has a couple of entrances, couple of little parks like this. There's the bigger one. There are smaller ones. There are some hidden ones. It's a very clean lake. If you go into lakes anywhere around the world, before you see animals going in there, then coming back from the lake alive, or before you see hybrids or humans going in there into the lakes, then coming back alive, or into the seas or into the oceans and coming back alive. Before you seeing that, please don't go in the water. There is no guarantee that something will not actually trying to eat you in these days anywhere around the world. Oh, that's a beautiful electric vehicles. Okay, South Prospect Lake. We got an evidence. Hopefully Prospect does something to do with prosperity. I hope so, I think so. Aloha.